You know, sometimes the most powerful answers in life aren't hiding in a fancy pill bottle or tucked away in a specialist's office. They're growing quietly in nature, waiting for us to notice. For many men over 60, one issue has a way of sneaking into daily life and refusing to leave: an enlarged prostate. Maybe you've felt it yourself, or watched a friend shuffling off to the bathroom for the third time in an evening, sighing and hoping for a full night's sleep. And if you're watching this, maybe you've already tried every trick, supplement, or late-night internet remedy, only to find that little seems to really work. But today, I want to talk to you about something most doctors don't mention, and you almost never hear about on TV. Yet it's been quietly helping men just like you for generations. Let me start with a story that might sound familiar. One of my longtime patients, Tom, first came to see me not for aches or pains, but for frustration. Tom was 68, energetic, sharp, still out on the golf course twice a week, but every day, he found himself planning his outings around where the nearest restroom might be. Movie nights with his wife, dinners with friends, even a simple walk in the park. They all came with that nagging anxiety. Would he have to get up, excuse himself, and search for relief? Sometimes he'd get up 5 or 6 times at night, his sleep shattered, and his wife groaning beside him. Tom was embarrassed, even a little angry, that something so small could have such a big effect on his life. Sound familiar? That's the reality for so many men after 60. The medical term is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, but you don't need the jargon to know what it feels like: slower flow, more urgency, interrupted sleep, a creeping sense of losing control. And so often, the advice is either to just live with it or jump straight to medications, which can leave you with side effects that are sometimes worse than the original problem. That's what Tom had heard. He'd tried a few over-the-counter supplements, nothing changed. When he came to my office, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "Dr. Easton, I just want to enjoy my days without always worrying about my bladder. Is there really anything natural that works, or am I just out of luck?" If you've ever wondered the same thing, you're in the right place. My name is Dr. Nolan Easton, and for over 30 years, I've worked as a men's health specialist. I've helped thousands of men not just manage these changes, but actually feel younger, more confident, and more in control. And I can tell you, it's not always about more medications. Sometimes, the answer really is as simple and as powerful as what you put on your plate. Today, I want to let you in on a secret. There's a fruit, easy to overlook, not flashy or exotic, but with remarkable power to support prostate health as we age. It's something you may have walked right by in the grocery store without a second thought. Most people have no idea about its unique benefits, especially for men over 60. When I first started researching natural ways to ease BPH symptoms, I was skeptical too. After all, if something really worked, wouldn't everyone be talking about it? But over the years, I've seen what happens when men like Tom try this simple addition to their diet, and I'm excited to share it with you. Why does this matter so much? Well, let's be honest. Most of us want solutions that are simple, natural, and don't require a pharmacy trip or a doctor's visit every month. We want to feel in charge of our health, not at the mercy of it. That's what drew Tom to my office, and probably why you're here too. You want to get back to uninterrupted nights, long walks, hobbies, and quiet moments, without always mapping out the nearest restroom. But what exactly is this little-known fruit, and how does it work? Before we dive into that, I want to pause for just a moment. If you're finding this message helpful so far, or if you've ever felt frustrated by these same symptoms, I'd love for you to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical, real-world advice. Tap the bell icon so you never miss out on new ways to stay strong and healthy after 60. And here's something a little different. If what I'm saying resonates with you, even just a little, let me know in the comments below with a simple yes or no. I read every single answer, and your feedback really does help me make sure I'm covering the topics that matter most to you. We're all in this together. So back to Tom. After that first conversation in my office, I could see the worry in his eyes. He didn't want to be defined by his prostate, or by his age. Like many of you, he wanted to be out enjoying life, making plans, not stuck at home or on the sidelines. We talked through his options, and I told him about this fruit that, in multiple studies, has been shown to naturally support prostate health and even shrink the prostate over time. His first reaction? A laugh and a little skepticism. But Tom was willing to try. He started adding it to his morning routine, just a small serving each day, nothing complicated or expensive. Let's step back for a second. Why is prostate health so tricky after 60? It turns out, as men age, testosterone gradually turns into a different hormone called DHT. Too much DHT is like fertilizer for the prostate. It makes it swell, press on the bladder, and cause those frustrating symptoms. Most medications for BPH aim to block this conversion, but they can come with their own baggage: dizziness, low libido, even feeling foggy-headed. That's why so many men look for alternatives, something that works with the body, not against it. This is where our mystery fruit comes in. Decades ago, researchers noticed that men in certain parts of the world had far fewer prostate issues than men here in the States, even as they aged. After a bit of digging, they realized it wasn't genetics or fancy medical care, it was diet. Specifically, these men ate more of a particular fruit, day in and day out. This fruit, packed with specific plant compounds, can gently block the same pathway that medications target, helping the body maintain a healthy prostate size naturally. Even better, it can do so without the side effects. The fruit itself is simple. It's not a miracle cure, and I always say there's no such thing as a magic bullet. But the results speak for themselves. In men like Tom, symptoms began to ease after just a few weeks. He started sleeping better, making fewer trips to the bathroom, and even had the energy to join his grandson for those long walks again. It was like someone had quietly turned down the dial on his discomfort. His wife noticed the change too. Less grumbling in the night, more laughter in the mornings. The best part? This approach puts control back in your hands. No waiting months for a prescription refill. No worrying about side effects, just a simple, natural tweak that supports your body's own healing. As a doctor, I love seeing men discover this. They start looking forward to their days again, not dreading the nights. Now, I know some of you may still be skeptical, and that's okay. Maybe you've tried other so-called natural remedies in the past that fell flat. But as we move forward, I want you to keep an open mind. This fruit has decades of solid science behind it, and in my experience, it's one of the most gentle and effective ways to support prostate health, especially as we get a little older. In a world filled with complicated answers, sometimes the simplest ones are the most powerful. And just like Tom, you deserve to feel at ease in your own body, free from the constant reminders of age. So if you're ready to take the next step, I'm excited to guide you. Because after all these years as a men's health specialist, I've learned that real change doesn't have to be hard, it just has to be the right kind of simple. Let's pick up right where we left off, with Tom's story still fresh in our minds. I can't tell you how many times over the years I've heard men say, "Dr. Easton, is there anything I can do that actually works, without the pills and the side effects?" The hope in their eyes is always mixed with a little bit of doubt, because let's be honest, it's hard not to get jaded after trying remedy after remedy with little to show for it. But as Tom's case showed, sometimes all it takes is the right nudge in the right direction. Now, before I reveal the fruit itself, let's talk about why so few people in the mainstream medical world mention it. You see, the world of men's health is big business. Medications, expensive supplements, even surgeries, these are all big-ticket solutions. But the truth is, many natural remedies never get the spotlight simply because they can't be patented or sold at a high price. That doesn't mean they aren't effective. In fact, some of the best solutions have been used quietly for generations, often by men just like you, who are determined to take their health back into their own hands. I still remember the day Tom came back into my office after a month of making a single change to his routine. He sat down, a little cautiously, but I could see the spark of hope that had been missing before. "Doc, I don't want to jinx it," he said, "but I actually slept through the night for the first time in years. My wife says I even seem younger." It's moments like that, after decades in medicine, that never get old. Helping men rediscover their confidence and peace of mind, there's nothing more rewarding. But let's get practical. What is this little-known fruit that made such a difference for Tom? It's pumpkin seed, and more specifically, the extract of pumpkin seed. You might be surprised. After all, pumpkin seeds are hardly the latest superfood fad. But sometimes, the real secrets are hidden in plain sight. Pumpkin seed extract is packed with phytosterols, plant compounds that work to gently block the conversion of testosterone into DHT, that pesky hormone that causes the prostate to swell. Over time, studies have shown that men who regularly consume pumpkin seed or its extract can see real improvements in urinary flow, frequency, and even those bothersome nighttime trips to the bathroom. And unlike so many over-the-counter miracles, pumpkin seed is not about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about supporting your body's natural balance with a solution that's stood the test of time. I know what some of you are thinking. Can something so simple really make a difference? I get it. We're conditioned to believe that the best answers have to be complicated or high-tech. But nature has its own quiet wisdom, and pumpkin seed is a perfect example. In fact, some cultures have used it for generations, not just for prostate health but for overall vitality. The secret lies in those unique compounds that support a healthy hormone balance as you age. Now, I want to emphasize, this isn't a cure or an overnight miracle. It's a gentle, gradual support that works best when made part of your everyday routine. Think of it like tending a garden. A little attention every day, and soon enough you notice the weeds clearing out and the flowers returning. That's what happened for Tom. After a few weeks, he wasn't running to the restroom every hour. He started sleeping better, waking up refreshed, and, maybe most important, he stopped dreading his evenings out with friends. What makes pumpkin seed especially useful for men over 60 is its safety profile. Unlike many medications, which can cause dizziness, fatigue, or even sexual side effects, pumpkin seed is easy on the body. Most men tolerate it without any issues, and some even notice a gentle lift in mood and energy, likely because they're finally sleeping through the night again. It's a simple addition, a handful of seeds as a snack, or a small amount of extract in your daily smoothie or oatmeal. Nothing fancy, nothing costly, just a natural tool your body already knows how to use. But, as with any change, it's important to be consistent. When Tom began, he was careful to include his pumpkin seed every morning, just part of breakfast, no fuss. By the second week, his urgency had lessened. By week 4, his wife was the one singing its praises, thrilled that she could finally get her own rest, too. The smile I saw on Tom's face was one I hadn't seen in years. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Even if you've struggled for a long time, even if other approaches haven't worked, you are not out of options. There's real power in these quiet, natural solutions, and the science supports it. I've seen it firsthand in my decades as a men's health specialist, and I want the same for you. Now, I want to pause here for just a moment. If you're enjoying this conversation, or if you've learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell so you're always in the loop for future advice and simple, effective health tips. And remember, if any of this feels true for your own life, or if you're ready to give something natural a try, leave a yes or no in the comments below. I read all of them, and your feedback really does shape what I cover next. After all, this isn't just about information, it's about building a community where we support each other's health and dignity as we age. Let's return to Tom for a moment. The difference in his daily life wasn't dramatic or flashy, it was gradual, steady, and, as he put it, almost sneaks up on you. His confidence came back. If you're feeling discouraged or stuck, I want you to remember, small changes can lead to real progress. It's never too late to support your health in ways that respect both your body and your peace of mind. And as you've heard in Tom's journey, it's not just about shrinking a prostate, it's about reclaiming the comfort, freedom, and confidence that every man deserves, no matter his age. As we continue, I'll share more of the details behind how pumpkin seed supports prostate health, and how men just like you are weaving this simple food into their lives for lasting results. And always remember, you're not alone in this. Your questions, your comments, and your stories are what keep this channel going and help me, Dr. Nolan Easton, better serve men over 60 looking for real answers. Let's keep the conversation going, and thank you for being here. Your health journey matters, and it's my privilege to walk it with you. Now, when Tom first started his journey with pumpkin seed, I made sure to walk alongside him, not just as his doctor, but as a partner in the process. I told him, give it a fair shot, and be patient with yourself. Just like tending a garden, you may not see results overnight, but if you stick with it, your body will thank you. The truth is, most men want a clear timeline. They ask, how soon before I notice anything? I always say that every man's body is different, but in my experience, many begin to notice subtle shifts within a few weeks, sometimes sooner, sometimes a little longer. The important part is not to get discouraged if things don't change all at once. The goal isn't just fewer trips to the bathroom, it's peace of mind, better sleep, and the freedom to focus on what truly matters. Tom's progress was steady. At first, he just felt a little less urgency. Then, about 3 weeks in, he realized he was only waking up once a night instead of 4 or 5 times. "It's like getting my life back in tiny pieces," he told me. And that, I think, is how most positive changes happen, not in dramatic leaps, but in quiet victories that add up day by day. His days became less focused on managing discomfort and more on enjoying his family, his hobbies, and even planning a short trip with his wife. For Tom, that sense of normalcy meant everything. So how exactly does pumpkin seed work? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand. As men age, the prostate starts responding to those changing hormone levels, especially DHT, which acts like a fertilizer for unwanted prostate growth. Pumpkin seed is rich in plant sterols and zinc, 2 powerful nutrients that help keep DHT in check. Think of it as sending in the right gardeners to prune back the overgrowth, so things can return to a healthier balance. Zinc, in particular, is an essential mineral for men's health. Not only does it support a healthy prostate, but it also plays a role in immune function and even energy levels. Most men over 60 aren't getting enough, and pumpkin seed happens to be one of the best, most natural sources. That's why I often recommend pumpkin seed as part of a holistic approach, not just for prostate health but for overall wellness. And the best part? You don't need a fancy supplement. Raw or lightly roasted pumpkin seeds, a small handful each day, or a spoonful of high-quality pumpkin seed oil can go a long way. Tom liked his sprinkled over oatmeal in the morning, but you can toss them in a salad, mix them with a little yogurt, or just grab a handful as a snack. It's about finding what works for you and weaving it naturally into your daily routine. Of course, I always remind my patients, and I'll remind you, too, that no single food or supplement can take the place of the basics. Moving your body, staying hydrated, eating a variety of wholesome foods, and taking time to rest and recharge. Pumpkin seed isn't a magic bullet, but it's a wonderful ally, especially when combined with other healthy habits. Tom found that as he slept better, his energy for walking and staying active returned. It's a domino effect. The better you feel, the more you do, and the more you do, the better you feel. One question I get all the time is, are there any side effects? For most men, pumpkin seed is extremely gentle. In rare cases, if you overdo it, you might notice a little digestive discomfort, but that's usually a sign to scale back a bit. I suggest starting with a small serving and seeing how you feel. Remember, consistency matters more than quantity. You don't need a big dose, just a steady, daily commitment. Hearing Tom's updates brought me so much joy. He called after about a month and said, "Doc, I'm not just sleeping better, I'm laughing more. I'm not snapping at my wife out of frustration. We even planned a weekend away, something I haven't done in years." That's the real reward. Prostate health isn't just about a number on a chart or a symptom checklist. It's about reclaiming your life, your confidence, and your peace of mind. As I share this, I want to gently encourage you. If you've tried other approaches and felt disappointed, don't lose hope. The journey to better health after 60 is about small, steady wins. And sometimes, the answer really is as close as your pantry. If this is resonating with you, and you're curious about giving pumpkin seed a try, I'd love for you to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon for more straightforward advice. And please, let me know in the comments with a simple yes or no if this message speaks to you. I read your responses and truly value them. They help me keep these videos grounded in real, everyday concerns. Something else Tom and I talked about was how the little things added up. It wasn't just his improved sleep or reduced urgency, it was the freedom to join in at family gatherings, the relief of not having to scan every public place for a bathroom, and the pride he felt taking care of his health, naturally. These changes, while subtle, have a ripple effect. I've had other men tell me they feel more independent, less anxious about travel, and more optimistic about aging. That's the true impact of something as simple as a daily handful of pumpkin seeds. And let me be clear, you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do it all at once. Start where you are. If you forget a day, just pick it up again the next. The real magic is in the steady, patient commitment to your own well-being. That's what I've seen over and over in my years as a men's health specialist. Men who take those small, manageable steps see the greatest, most lasting improvements. Now, maybe you're wondering if there's any research behind all this. And I'm happy to say, yes, there is. Several well-designed studies have looked at pumpkin seed extract for prostate health, and the findings are promising. Men reported fewer symptoms, better urinary flow, and a better quality of life, all without significant side effects. Of course, no one food is a replacement for working with your doctor, but the science is real, and so are the results I've seen in men like Tom. The most important lesson I want you to take from Tom's story is this: you are not powerless. Your body is still capable of healing, even after 60, and you deserve to feel confident and comfortable in your own skin. With each small, positive step, you're telling yourself that your health matters. That's a powerful message, and one I hope you'll carry with you. So whether you're thinking about adding pumpkin seed to your day, or just looking for gentle, natural ways to support your body as you age, know that you're not alone. I'm here to guide you, answer your questions, and celebrate your wins, no matter how small they seem. As always, I appreciate you spending this time with me. The fact that you're here, listening, and taking action means you're already on the path to better health. Stick with it, be kind to yourself, and remember, real change doesn't happen overnight, but it is absolutely possible. I've seen it in Tom, I've seen it in countless others, and I believe it's possible for you, too. Let's keep encouraging each other, sharing our experiences, and building this community of strong, empowered men, and those who love them. Your feedback and your stories are what keep me inspired to do this work, day after day. You've walked with me through Tom's journey, and I hope you can sense just how powerful these simple changes can be, not just in the way your body feels, but in the quality of your daily life. In all my years as a men's health specialist, I've learned that while science and medicine matter, it's the human stories that stick with us and motivate us to keep going. And Tom's story, like so many others, is proof that even after 60, your best years can still be ahead of you. I want to circle back for a moment to the reason we're all here: regaining comfort, confidence, and freedom from those constant reminders that age and an enlarged prostate can bring. If you've ever found yourself watching the clock, counting the minutes until your next bathroom trip, or hesitating to join family gatherings or outings because you just don't want the hassle, know this: there is hope. You are not alone, and your struggles are not a life sentence. What makes the journey so worthwhile isn't just the improvement in symptoms, but the doors that open up when you no longer have to plan your life around your prostate. When Tom first started, he told me, "Doc, I just want to be myself again. Not a patient, not a symptom, just a husband, a grandfather, a friend." It's that desire, to live fully, to laugh, to be present, that motivates every suggestion I give in these videos. As the weeks passed, Tom continued to make his pumpkin seed routine a habit. He wasn't militant about it. If he missed a day, he didn't beat himself up. He just started again the next day. That's something I hope everyone listening will take to heart. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence, about small wins stacking up, about treating yourself with kindness and patience. One of the most rewarding moments for Tom, and for me, if I'm honest, came about 2 months into his journey. His daughter invited him on a trip up the coast, something he would have hesitated to do just months earlier. The old worry about frequent stops, about holding everyone back, had always kept him close to home. But this time, he said yes. The trip came and went, and when he got back, his face was brighter, his voice lighter. I never once felt like I was missing out. I was just part of the family again. That's the kind of result that goes so much deeper than anything a lab test could ever show. So, how do you carry this momentum forward in your own life? It starts with giving yourself permission to try something new, even if it seems simple. Embrace that handful of pumpkin seeds, or that spoonful of oil, as a daily act of self-respect. Pair it with movement, a walk, a stretch, a bit of gardening. Let it remind you that you still have agency over your health, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. I can't count how many men have come back to me months after making these gentle changes and said, "Doc, I feel more like myself. I'm not ruled by my symptoms. My wife is happier, my mood is better, and life just feels easier." That's the true gift, regaining your sense of ease. No, pumpkin seed isn't a miracle, but it is a tool, and in the right hands, your hands, it can make a real difference. Now, let's talk about community for a moment. One thing I love about this channel, and about working with men and their families for all these years, is how much strength comes from sharing our stories. If Tom hadn't been willing to talk about his experience, quietly at first with me, and then more openly with his friends, who knows how many men would still be struggling in silence. That's why I'm always encouraging you to leave a comment below, just a simple yes or no, if what I've said connects with you in any way. I read your words, and I let them guide what I share next. Every like, every subscription, every tap on the bell icon isn't just for the numbers. It's a sign that this advice matters to you, and that together, we're building something bigger than ourselves. And please remember, if you ever feel stuck, or if you need more personal advice, reach out to your own doctor. Bring up what you've learned here. Ask about pumpkin seed, share your concerns and your hopes. The best doctors, in my experience, are always happy to see a patient who's taking an active role in their health. You don't have to do this alone. The final piece I want to leave you with is hope. Over the decades, I've seen so many men start out discouraged, worried they're too old, or that their body has given up on them. Nothing could be further from the truth. The body is remarkably resilient, even after 60, 70, 80, and beyond. With steady, caring attention, things can and do get better. Your journey might not look exactly like Tom's, but it can be your own story of renewal. I hope this message has given you not only the practical tools to support your prostate health, but also the encouragement to believe in yourself. Don't underestimate the power of simple, consistent choices. They may not grab headlines, but they can transform your days. And that's what life after 60 is really about. Living each moment fully, without being held back by what used to trouble you. Thank you for spending your time with me, for sharing your stories, your challenges, and your victories. It is my privilege to be part of this journey with you. Please, if you found any value in today's conversation, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates. Let me know in the comments, yes or no, if you're ready to reclaim your comfort and confidence. I truly read and appreciate every answer, and it helps me continue to serve this incredible community. No matter where you are in your journey, know this: you are not defined by your age, your diagnosis, or your setbacks. You are defined by your willingness to keep moving forward, to keep learning, and to keep caring for yourself and those you love. That's the spirit I see in men like Tom, and that's the spirit I hope you carry with you, today and every day. So here's to you, to better sleep, fewer worries, and more freedom to enjoy what really matters. You deserve it. Thank you for staying with me through Tom's journey and for trusting me, Dr. Nolan Easton, to walk alongside you in yours. It's always an honor to share these stories and practical tools, and I hope you're leaving this conversation not just with more knowledge, but with a renewed sense of hope and control over your health. Let's pause and remember why we started. It wasn't just about shrinking the prostate, or a handful of pumpkin seeds, or some scientific fact. It was about living the kind of life you want, one that isn't ruled by worry or inconvenience, but by comfort, freedom, and confidence in every day you wake up. If there's one thing I've learned in all my years as a men's health specialist, it's that real transformation comes not from grand gestures, but from small, steady changes you choose to make for yourself. Tom's story shows us this perfectly. He started with hesitation, a little skepticism, and an open mind. It didn't take a miracle, just a daily commitment to a natural, gentle solution that worked with his body. And as the weeks turned into months, Tom's world began to open up again. He traveled, laughed, slept soundly, and lived as the man he wanted to be, not the man he feared he was becoming. That's what I wish for each of you. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about how you can get started, right where you are, today. If you've got a bag of pumpkin seeds in your kitchen, you're already halfway there. Start with a small handful each day, maybe with your breakfast, maybe as a snack. If you prefer pumpkin seed oil, a teaspoon drizzled on your salad or vegetables works too. The key is consistency, not perfection. If you miss a day, don't let it throw you off. Just get back to it the next day. Your body responds best to gentle, regular support. And as you begin, pay attention to how you feel, not just at night, but during the day. Are you making fewer urgent trips? Sleeping a bit better? Feeling more at ease in your own skin? Celebrate those victories, no matter how small. They are signs that your efforts are working, and that you are giving yourself the care you deserve. If you have questions, share them below. I love reading your comments, and they help me decide what to talk about next. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, Subscribe if you want more real, senior-friendly advice, and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to take another step forward. And don't forget, a simple yes or no in the comments lets me know if this topic speaks to you. I read every single answer, and it means the world to see how these videos are helping men just like you. There's something I want to say as we close. Getting older does not mean giving up. In fact, I believe it's the best time to take control of your well-being. The world may try to tell us that certain problems are just part of aging, but I don't believe in resigning yourself to discomfort or limitations. With knowledge, community, and a willingness to try new approaches, you can break free from old patterns and rediscover the best parts of life. And if you're still not sure, let Tom's example inspire you. He didn't find a magic cure. He found a simple answer that worked for him, with patience, openness, and support. You have that same opportunity. Whether it's pumpkin seed or another gentle approach, what matters is that you keep believing in your ability to change for the better. I know that for many men, it can feel lonely to talk about these things. But I want you to remember, you are not alone. There are thousands of men, right now, going through the same struggles, asking the same questions, hoping for the same relief. That's why this community matters. That's why your voice, your questions, and your experiences are so important. You never know when your story might give another man the courage to take his own first step. As you move forward, hold on to that sense of possibility. Allow yourself to be surprised by how good you can feel, even after years of challenges. Trust in your body's ability to respond to kindness and care, and never underestimate the power of the simple, natural gifts nature has given us. So, here's my final encouragement to you. Take that small step. Try something new, stay patient, stay hopeful, and let yourself be supported by your family, your friends, and by this community. Together, we can challenge what it means to age, and prove that the best years can still be ahead. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for believing